Hi folks, just a short video for you today. This is the recording of the final of the summer event of the Champions of Westeros League for 2021, the league that just finished last week, and the new one is about to start next week, so of course everyone is invited to take part in that. This is the longest running online event in this game. It's been going on basically since the start of the game, way before the pandemic obviously. And two very familiar players playing this final. We have Hanno on the bottom of your screen playing Greyjoy Mammer's Farce deck, and we have Radek on top with Tyrell, Banner of the Lion. And as you can see, 6 card setup already for Hanno here. So basically the premise here is that Hanno's deck will be trying to win very quickly. As usual, probably no resets played or anything like that, and a swarm of small characters that can gain keywords, particularly Renown of course. And on the other side we have Shadow's deck that wants to take this game pretty long, play all the rounds, get the resets until Hanno is left without any resources to compete in this game. So we'll see which game plan works on this occasion. So 4 full setup with 2 zero cost locations for Hanno, and as you can see in the chat, he kind of expects to get a setup like that with this deck because of the low cost curve. And on the other side we have the economy to start with, and the draw, the Old Town Undercity. Now the Guildhall for cancel as well, but only 1 character. So the problem here for Radek will be of course preventing the quick power gain, because his deck starts slowly and opposing the early challenges isn't always possible. And the plots, so late summer feast for Radek, not expecting to win many challenges, probably won't even initiate any himself. And the Maiden on the other side, which gives Hanno a good chance to win initiative for the rest of the game with the other plots. And it is important for Hanno to go first here and just rush to victory. So currently none of the characters have gold, which means Shagwell isn't doing anything. And here we go, Unbridled Generosity to spread some keywords around. So now Patchface already gains all the icons and the keywords, so he has insight, and now the Shagwell giving insight to all the other characters with gold as well here. And of course stealth as well. So not even possible to oppose anything here. As you can see, the power gain is quite quick. And the Great Kraken on the board as well, which just speeds things up. No need to use it for draw here. The plan is not to play the long game, and of course there is some insight anyway. As well as late summer feast in case anything is opposed. High Garden Jesters can put the card of your choice back on top. This is, I guess it's not completely unimportant what you do here, because the forced reaction on the agenda means that all of these cards on top of the deck will be attached to the full characters, and Hanno being second player here means that Radek will actually decide which card goes where, and these attachments are all terminal, so they will be lost in case the fools leave play. But this is where things get interesting, of course. Hanno is trying to prevent all of these characters from leaving play, and Radek is playing presumably a deck with Morghulis, and I would guess the Stranger as well. So if the Stranger is played, and cost 2 has to be picked here for Hanno, everything dies, but there is this counter, the Crown, which prevents any character with printed strength 1 from leaving play, and as you can see, a lot of the characters do have that strength. So just killing Patchface and Shagwell here, but they were the characters that already had duplicates on them. So that's one plan to stop Hanno's quick bargain here, basically ruined by this plot, the Crown. Currently at 5 power, so not that close to victory, but of course now Radek has to start opposing challenges, otherwise things could get out of hand. And Sparrows can take some power back. All 3 icons on the board, but stealth gets spread around here quite quickly with Saltcliffe Sailor on the board and Shagwell, and we have Patchface who can gain stealth from everyone else, and the Meister Wintermere has stealth himself. And another key card in this deck, support of Harlow, just marshaled. This can now give renown as well, and basically only one trigger with this spread of gold is enough to give several characters renown here, and the second copy as well. So just playing out his hand, Hanno here. And this is the thing with the agenda, you're not actually down to 0 cards when you do that, because as you can see there are 4 cards attached to full characters, so basically as long as those characters are on the board, these cards are available, and this will become 9 cards when all the characters are 4 fools on the board. So 8 cards at the end of this round when the forced reactions trigger. Radek just going for the challenges here because he cannot actually oppose anything. There is stealth on every challenge. Hanno just defending this with a character that doesn't have renown, saving everyone else probably to attack with later. So it's a little difficult to actually follow all the keywords on the board here. We have support of Harlow not triggered yet. We have Shagwell giving keywords to all the full characters with gold. And we have Patchface gaining keywords from all the other full characters. So attacking with 6. 2 characters that have insight currently don't have renown. And now Shagwell gains renown, which gives one of the Jesters renown, and then Salford Cliffsider moves the gold, which gives the other one renown as well. And this is done after Radek has already committed or failed to commit any defenders. So getting up to 9 power with this. And unfortunately insight doesn't really work here because the Jesters have to give the cards back. And now Mandud Moor comes out of shadows. Something has to be killed because there are no cards in hand. And because of the crown, the small characters cannot actually be killed here, so something bigger needs to be chosen. Yeah, thinking probably about Meister Vandermeer here, if it's worth killing a character that has a duplicate, because Morghulis might be coming. So there are 2 plots that can still turn this around. There is Morghulis that kills the entire board if it gets to resolve, of course, and there is First Snow of Winter. But knowing Radek's deck, I think he might not be playing First Snow here, so big problem for him. Patchface wins, and Patchface has renown and insight. And a good intrigue pool as well. The Iron Bank will have its due. Could have been used maybe on the Sparrows to stall the game a little longer. And another copy available for Radek. But already 10 power here for Hanno. So even if you just oppose every challenge, all the renown makes this deck really quick, but with a slow starter like this Shadows deck that just sets up economy and the locations and stuff, it is a problem if you cannot reset the board very quickly after the initial rush from Hanno here. So 14 power, using the Great Kraken as well, and now Morghulis has to come. And as you can see, outwit played here by Hanno with Meister Vendemir on the board. So it was a slight risk taking that duplicate, because there could have been something maybe in shadows like a cat spot to return him to hand, which would have stopped this outwit play. And the thing is, even missing with outwit here doesn't really matter, because 14 power, the game is essentially over as long as Hanno can push a single challenge through. So just an easy call. It cancels the when revealed ability, so first now I guess would have still worked here. But that was really the only answer Radek had. So interesting deck, this probably the only really competitive deck we've seen with this agenda so far, using some of the Greyjoy tools like the Saltcliffe Sailor and the support of Harlow, even Great Kraken here, and the Meisters for this outwit play to get the power gain. And the agenda takes care of everything else. It gives the traits you need. You have Shagwell to spread the keywords around. You have Patchface as well, very versatile in this deck. And there we go. So this deck has been published by Hanno on ThronesDB, so I will put a link to that in the description. And as I said, the next league is starting next Monday, so this is the 18th of October. And there really is no excuse not to take part. It doesn't take much commitment, just one game per week. You can play any deck you like. You can swap decks between rounds. And lately the numbers have been falling a little bit, just over 40 players in the last couple of editions, so hopefully it picks up again a little bit. So just sticking around for a minute to read this chat. Yeah, the Morghulis first round was an option here for Radek before everything was duplicated. The unique characters Shagwell, I think, and Patchface were there on setup. And then, of course, everything else was protected by the crown, so it was too late to do anything about that. And Stranger, not an option, unfortunately, early on, really, because you don't know. You can't really manipulate the board. You can't set it up the way Shadow's deck can do in the later rounds. And after that, basically the two counters that Hanno had were strong enough to survive the resets. So there we are. Thanks for joining me. I'll put the links in the description, including the website where you can register for the next edition, for the fall edition of this tournament, and hopefully see you there. So thanks for joining me, and bye bye.